Drop.
Is this the fucking mic? This is exactly what I should be doing.
What's up, and welcome to this week's episode of The Drop, your weekly source for all things NFT and crypto art, as well as upcoming drops by notable people in the Mograph industry. I am Matt Milstead. Joining me, as always, is Dave Costin. Joining us from Sanctus, Wes Slover, Chad Walbrick, and Trevor Richardson. Thanks for joining us, y'all. I'm really interested to hear what you think about NFTs and NFT audio
NFTs.
Specifically.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Feel free to be as delightful or as angry as possible.
Right. What do you got in the week's drops before we get to that there?
Let me get there because I was on my intro thing.
Aw.
All right, cool. We don't have a lot on Nifty Gateway. Nifty Gateway only had their schedule's off from us, so we only have one. It's the one
Right.
that's going on tonight. First one, a couple of illustrators, really cool looking illustrators. I think a lot of them are illustrators through this week. We've got Van Orton doing this one. Really cool looking stuff. I really like it. It's
Like a
like
stained glass window.
like a stained glass window. Yeah, really neat. And then you get your skull moth thing.
Yeah,
which
like
is,
you do. It's an NFT.
like you do,
It's got to have
you
a
know?
skull.
right? Of course.
You know. Yeah. So you know it's good.
And then Miriam Ampersand, I think is how you say it. Miri Ampersand is
Ampersand.
another
Oh,
illustrator.
interesting.
He's doing a drop tonight. Yeah. So there you go. That's the one for Nifty Gateway. I am
This looks like
excited about
hands
the
are
ones.
on.
Yeah, it might be. Could be Procreate. I don't know.
Sure looks like it.
Right?
Yeah.
If you too want to make Procreate NFTs, you could go to our website and pick up our new Procreate course
There you go.
by Caitlin Gadju.
Right.
Only on mograph.com/classes. Next up in Maker's Place, Reed Zimmerman, also known as Late Night Renders, is doing a drop. This one, I really liked this one. I like the sound design for it. You guys might like the sound design. I don't think we
I'm
can
gonna
show
need to
the
check
sound
that out.
design. But yeah, I
No.
thought this one was really pretty. I like the intricacies inside the bodies
robots.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the robots are cool. They're cool robots. Come on.
Full spectrum robots.
Here's one thing about Maker's Place that I think is weird, and Late Night Renders actually did a good job. At the end, it's like Maker's Place makes them put this really awful generic logo at the end where it says their name and it says Maker's Place. Anyway,
Oh yes.
You'll
I
see
know
it
what
on
you're
some of the other
saying.
ones.
Yeah.
So that is tomorrow. That's the 12th. Late Night Renders. Next up, 413. Amir H. Falah is doing one. I really like this one. The story behind it is like they would go to all these different libraries and stuff like that, and collect things and paint like the histories and stuff. See that
Oh
ugly,
yeah. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
It's so stupid. It's so
Yeah,
gross.
it's an ugly graphic.
At least, come on, Maker's Place. You got the best artists in the world doing drops. Just get one of them to design you a
Do a little
logo,
title or something, yeah.
right?
Right.
It's
funny.
Yeah, really cool stuff. I really like that one. And then the last one is Nadie Bremer and UNICEF. They're doing these patchwork metropolis metropoles or something like that. Straight up gives me Mary Blair vibes, who did a lot of the Disney artwork and stuff like that back in the day. Like really pretty stuff.
Yeah.
I think in the description it talks about how they are a
Reminds me of that video game.
information like organization I can't remember what the exact wording is, but it's like it's using AI in order to organize the stuff or data management or something. It's pretty neat. Yeah, neat once you look it up. Anyway, so that's it for the main drops. Yeah. Let's get into NFTs. Let's hear about the world of audio NFTs.
Yeah, first
Because
of
I'm
all,
sure there's a lot going on.
does that
Because
exist?
yeah, I mean, well, I think it's going to be huge. I think it's going to be huge. Once people rebrand the term NFT, and it doesn't sound so gross, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of artists that I know personally have done NFTs, and they always need audio with it, and they're either buying crap off a premium beat, which I'm not sure if they're allowed to,
Right. Yeah.
or they're reaching out to actual artists like y'all, similar to y'all, and having them create original artwork for it or original sound design for their pieces.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'd love to hear what y'all think about that.
And have you
about
done
the
any NFT audio
space.
yet?
Yeah.
Who wants
Don't all
to
talk. You know.
I don't think any
And
of us...
that's the end of the drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't think any of us have personally done audio for or have done our own NFTs or anything like that, or produced any of our own. So we don't have that firsthand experience of being in that world ourselves. Though I know that we have definitely had conversations and offers as a company for different things that I'm sure Wes can talk about.
Yeah, we did that down on the render farm. David Aru, or actually, I don't know how to pronounce his last
Was
name.
that y'all?
Ariev.
That was
yeah.
That was a piece that we did with him for School of Motion that he minted. And we did NBA Top Shot. We did the sound design for the app itself, and that was one of those things where like, what, crypto trading cards, okay, whatever. Should have charged more for that one.
After we saw how much they were selling for after they went out, we were like, well, that was something we probably should have realized was a lot bigger than we thought.
Right.
Yeah,
and it's use that to sell other things, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, NFTs are something that I feel conflicted about. I think there's really, really exciting, amazing stuff happening in the space, and there's also like the environmental impact of the proof of work blockchain and these kind of scams that are happening within NFTs, and I don't know. So I was just kind of at this point where I'm like, well, I'm like ambivalent enough that I just want to not do them right now, but I am really excited about the future of those, and I think that they're doing really cool stuff. Cool opportunities for artists for sure. I get Trevor, you could speak more to like the audio NFT scene because you've been following that more than I have.
Yeah, and I can't say that I've followed it in depth, but I do see that there are people that are creating a lot of cool stuff. Especially, I've gotten into Touch Designer recently, which is for motion graphics people probably know what that is. Other people might not, but it's super cool. And I really enjoy, you can make sound and you can make synthesizers inside of Touch Designer. Like it is such a flexible tool that you can actually do a lot of. But in getting into that and learning it and kind of just wanting to know more about audio reactivity and visuals and that sort of thing, mostly just to be a better collaborator with people that do that. And like knowing what the possibilities of that world are, I've noticed that there's a lot of amazing artists out there that are honestly like musicians first that have taken that and made amazing Touch Designer pieces that are like this beautiful fusion of music and visuals and kind of creating these whole worlds. And I've noticed just like in that world, there's a lot of people that overlaps with, they mint them and they do NFTs, and it's awesome. I just think it's such a beautiful and cool type of art that otherwise didn't really have an outlet or like a place to really show that sort of thing, or so I think that's really my favorite thing about a lot of the NFT world is just it's drawn a lot of attention to a lot of amazing artists and art that
totally agree.
There was no space for before, or like it was just too disposable before. It was just like, if you were into it, you would follow someone on Instagram or something and like see what they made and thought it was cool. But like now there's like a little bit of a platform and a place for people to like actually engage and like give it the value that it always kind of deserved, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
What do you think about some of these artists that are selling like an entire album as an NFT or didn't Wu-Tang do like there's an album out there only one person owns or something? And
and a lot of artists are doing it where like it gives you special like premium access to like buying tickets to the shows, or I think that the community aspect of it is very cool, like where it's like it's a key into a community versus I don't know, like I definitely I have not dabbled in NFT personally a ton. I've just started to dip my toes into buying Bitcoin and that kind of thing, and starting to get my head around that, but I do think there's a lot of cool opportunity for bands who are going on the road to have this higher income stream come from NFTs, as they're like the super fans can get access to like these community perks that are otherwise like yeah, I don't know, would be harder to monetize probably, or harder to organize. So
and that's great for the artists too, because like a lot of them don't make money off of the actual publishing. It's the concerts, ticket sales, and the merch, and all the other stuff.
Well, and with music, it's just like the income streams have just like continually disappeared, and like there's been, you know, for a good while, there's been this kind of like 1,000 true fans like model of being a musician that's like, just try to have like 1,000 fans who are like completely dedicated, will buy anything, will go see you in concert. And I think NFTs are such a cool example of that, where you can be like, I believe in this artist so much, I love this artist so much that I want to like have a piece of ownership in the work.
Right. I like that idea. I like that. That's cool. Yeah. What do you guys think about
that? They sell out to, you know, work with on commercials for you know, Mograph. So
what I would love to know what y'all think about the future of where you think it is going, you know, because for me, when I look at NFTs, I don't think, you know, well, one, it's got, I always say it's got it needs a rebrand, you know, because people think NFTs, they think the dirty environment stuff, they think, you know, a bunch of crypto bros, they think rug pulls and stuff like that, you know. It's got a bad rep, but I'd love to know what you guys think where it could possibly go, or what you think what it could do in the future, especially in the audio world. Cool. That's the end of the drop. Yeah. Again,
this is the problem of having three of us on.
We don't know who to stay.
And go.
My answer's the easiest. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that I have forecasts for exactly how it's going to work. I don't see it disappearing. I don't see it being a thing that like, I think it's going to change over time, but I don't think it's like, some people dismiss it as a thing that's happening right now, and we won't even be talking about this sort of, you know, NFTs at all in a few years. And I don't think that that's true. I just think it's built on something that's only becoming more and more integral to how we interact and how the world works and how the internet works. So I think it's not going away. I don't know exactly where it's going though.
So I was having a discussion earlier about some of the stuff that Recur has been doing, you know, with NFTs. I don't know if y'all follow them at all, but like they've hired a ton of people in our Mograph space, you know, and hired a lot of really talented artists and stuff like that. And they're a corporate entity that's pushing out licensed NFTs for brands and stuff like that. And they recently just did this Star Trek drop, and I think there was supposed to be, they only ended up selling a little under 4,000 items, and I think there was 15,000 available. And it's like I have this worry that now that corporations have gotten a hold of this, and they're taking some of the artists away from this in order to create their, you know, they're creating their empire. They're just like, they're taking advantage. I feel like they're taking advantage of the artists, you know, because NFTs, in my opinion, were created for artists, you know, to be able to sell their artwork. And now that you've got the man basically coming in and being like, hey, brands, come over here, let me sell your brand as an NFT and stuff like that, it takes away from the artist, unless it is one specific artist working with that brand as a collaboration or something, you know. For me personally, I personally wouldn't buy an NFT just because it was a certain brand, you know. I have no interest in that. Like actual physical collectibles and stuff like that, yeah, I totally dig that, you know.
I mean, if you like the Trix Bunny and you want, you know, to get all 4 versions of their cereal, as an NFT,
I mean,
I guess.
I've got a Ghostbuster, you know, plasma gun thing, an actual physical one back here. I love it, right? But if it was like a JPEG, I don't really care about that, you know. I don't need to support some big corporation for that. But like an artist, on the other hand, I own lots of individual artists' artwork specifically because I want to support the artist, you know. And that's me personally. That's where I feel like the NFTs should go and that corporations need to stay out of it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
I'm sorry, go ahead, Chad. I was really just going to rip off what you had already just said. So
yeah,
okay.
Go ahead.
Well,
straight up.
I see that there's like kind of a branch here where there's people that are getting into NFTs to make a lot of money or try to make money, and then there's people that are getting into it for like the community aspect, or like patronage and that kind of thing. And I think that's what I would predict for the future, to continue to see that split, and whether or not each of those survives as like a means to an end, I don't know yet, but I do think it's a really cool way. I mean, it could be the future of like what we've seen with Patreon as like a way for creators to have more consistent income in the community and that kind of thing. So I mean, that would be like my hope would be like that would be the majority of where NFT goes versus the corporations just ripping out
I think also, with the smart contracts and stuff like that, it also puts into question being able to help stop piracy in a way.
Sure.
And piracy is always going to be there, but if you're associating your specific like song that you downloaded, it's not like, for right now it's very easy to go on Audio Jungle or Premium Beat or whatever, download a song and then send it to your buddy and be like, hey, how about this, blah blah blah, use it, blah blah. Unless I don't know, and maybe y'all can speak to this, how often does Audio Jungle go and they're like, oh, you use that in my commercial, let me see your licensing for it, I don't know. But being able to have that smart contract associated with a specific download, like being able to incorporate that, you have to have your wallet or whatever, your license associated with the actual like DAW that you're using or the editing software that you're using, that can help stop piracy from happening, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's for as far as like copyright stuff, there's like YouTube is like the easiest place that things get flagged, because they'll like scour. Although I think with like Audio Jungle and stuff, that probably doesn't get picked up because it'd be complicated.
Yeah, I feel like I had it happen once, and I'm like, really? Like, I bought this song, and you're flagging me? That doesn't make any sense. How do you dispute it?
Yeah, I mean, that is really smart in terms of YouTube, in terms of material that has been released in a public way. It is very smart about identifying that in a video and taking it down pretty much immediately, in a way that it didn't used to be.
I mean, I'd be curious if there's like a way that like it even translates to like an NFT could potentially have some kind of like way of when you import that file into like Logic or Pro Tools or something, that it can read like the metadata of the NFT or whatever. I don't fully understand. And then like say like, hey, you don't have the license for this, or like, you're not the licensed user of this. I'm not sure if that will ever happen, but
it would all have to be built into the actual software, that if you're wanting to use a specific thing, like you can link your account or your wallet or whatever over, and that brings in all the licensing. And what what another thing that it brings up is, like, say you license out a song to someone, right? And so that's sold as an NFT, along with a smart contract, and someone can use that. However, if at another point they want to use it for another project, that licensing could get back to you, like as far as like, cost, like, oh, if someone else wants to license that, they can sell their license to that, and continually make money off.
So I guess the question, and maybe this is where I don't understand NFTs as well, is like, we already do, as far as I understand, we already do this for software, but it's not decentralized. It's centralized through like iLock or through like through an activation code or whatever it is. Like, does it need to be on the blockchain, to enforce that type of thing? Like,
it would be more normalized. You know what I mean? Like, imagine if your iLock stuff and your other serial numbers and everything else could all somehow link up together, and you could just have one wallet that just verified you and everything. Have you ever tried to set up a new computer in graphics or audio, and then you've got to like get all the things set back up and all the passwords and all the licenses and everything? It takes forever. Be nice to be able to enter a wallet
NFTs
address.
are the future to getting rid of iLock, then I am 100%.
Yeah, that's the future I'm invested.
This is the utopia that I'm forward for.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see for sure.
Yeah.
Look who's here.
Hello, Dorpy.
Hey, y'all. I was just finishing up my lunch and had to swing by. I was just having a little cauliflower.
Oh my gosh.
Just got back from New York, an NFT convention. It's nice to be up back there every once in a while because I'm New Yorkie.
Oh, no, you're not.
You're not a Yorkie.
I was hobnobbing with the K9 NFT players. You only get that kind of interaction with real-life meetup these days. You can learn a lot from that crowd because most of them have their master's degree.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Anyway, I gotta go. It's nice to be back in the warm Texas weather where there's no risk of frostbite.
Oh, God. All right. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Most dogs ever on the stream, probably. We got Quinn over there.
Yeah, that's demeaning to Quinn over there.
What did you think about those jokes, Quinn, huh?
Hi, dog.
Yeah, that's all right. That's my face, too, every week.
Yeah.
Well,
Cool.
if you or anyone you know has or dropping an NFT, feel free to email us, info@mograph.com. We'll show it on the show. Other than that, let's get back to the regular show.
Let's do it.
Drop. Is this the fucking mic drop? This is exactly what I should be doing.